What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV. I did something that I've never ever done before. I've broken my own phone. I'm going to tell you the story about it and show you the damage as well, and hopefully tell you how everything got fixed, because this is going to be probably recorded over maybe a few days or a day, and I might have different clothes on, so whatever, let's get into it. So I have the Galaxy Z Fold 2. It's my main phone. It's the phone I use every single day. And I went for a walk like I do all the time. And I had let me drop down to here. I had my phone in a case, holding it by the pop socket. And in San Diego, especially, well, I should say Southern California for that matter, when you are, walking on the sidewalk or the road and it rains, it's actually pretty slippery. Now it wasn't really rainy, but it was the sidewalk was wet and there was a little bit of mud. And I did a couple laps. The first time I went around this mud, I tiptoed it because I've known from the past, I've fallen before. I've fallen so much in California, maybe more in California than I did from when I was living in Massachusetts. So I didn't fall the first time. I went around a second time. I wasn't paying attention as much because I was looking down at my phone, holding it by the pop socket. And I walked and I'm like, oh shoot. And I, went like that. I fell face first. I didn't, when I fell, it didn't hurt at all. And I had my phone, and I kind of dropped it like that, face down, while I held it. So it wasn't like a big drop. But then when I lifted it up and I looked at it, this half of the screen, the left side of the screen was like a different color. It was like a monotoned color of yellow or something like that. And then this was normal. And I was like, damn, I broke my phone. And then I wiped it off a little bit because there was a little bit of mud on it. And I noticed that you can probably see it towards the top in the middle. I now have this beautiful singular black line that does not go away. And also, the other issue I'm having right now is the left side I can type and control, pretty well. The right side, especially in the middle, when I type or try to press something in the middle, it's a little unresponsive. Definitely not nearly as responsive before all this happened. And also, when I, go into like settings or something, because that's in the top right, and I try to hit like that at the top right, the magnifying glass, it's very unresponsive. Overall, it needs to be replaced because I have an issue with it, because the screen isn't acting as it should. So that leads us to the next step of what's been going on with me in terms of the phone. So I ended up calling Samsung. I went to their website, first of all, to try to file a claim on my own. When I try to do that, guess what happens? The Z Fold 2 isn't one of the phones you can choose from. I guess the Z Fold ends up having its own line. So I ended up getting transferred to Samsung. I started talking for about 5 minutes with this lady. She goes, oh, you have a Z Fold 2? And she transferred me to another person, which ends up getting me, I believe, to the correct person, because they, acted like they knew what was going on for the most part. Once I get to the point where, I'm like, I want to file a claim, she's like, okay, you can either, bring it locally somewhere, or you can mail it into us. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll just want to bring it locally. And it ends up being You Break I Fix. That's the name of the company, You Break I Fix. And I'm like, will I have to pay anything? She's like, if it's not just the display, if it's the technology underneath the display, you'll end up probably having to pay like, I don't know, I think she said $150 or something like that. And I have the insurance. I pay whatever it is, $12 a month or something like that. I forget how much it is. And I was like, even with the insurance? She's like, I don't know anything about insurance. So that was like strike, whatever, 2 or 3 at this point, because of how bad the experience is going with the insurance, in terms of like, she should know if insurance is going to cover it and how much the deductible should be. Like, there's no reason she shouldn't know. Isn't that like her job, I would think? So this is where I'm stuck at right now, and this is where it'll end up turning into a multi-recorded video. It's so early in the morning. It's 8 in the morning on Saturday, and You Break I Fix isn't open until 10 a.m. So what I'm going to do is call them, see if they can fix it, see if it's covered under warranty, and see how much the repair will cost. If for whatever reason they can't fix it, or it's going to take too long, or they don't use my insurance with it in terms of, oh, look at nice spam call in terms of like they can't use the insurance to cover the deductible, whatever the reason, then I'll mail it in. I'll have to call Samsung again. Now, if you're curious what the number you should call is, I'll save you some time. Okay, so the phone number you should call for Premier Service if you have an issue with your Z Fold 2 is 888-970-3653, just to get the ball rolling. But that's where I'm at right now. Screen's not fully working. If it's gonna take days or whatever, or weeks to get the phone back, I definitely will switch over to my S21 Ultra in the meantime as my daily phone. But right now, as of 8:02 a.m., we are going to end up trying to bring this locally somewhere in San Diego to get it fixed. I'll let you know how that experience goes in this same video. Okay, it's now 11:17, so a few hours after I recorded the initial part of this video, and I spoke to Ubreak iFix. Didn't really get anywhere with them in terms of like, first the guy didn't even know what phone I had, and then he's like, is this a Z Flip? I said, no. He's like, oh yeah, the Fold. I said, no, the Z Fold. It's the second generation of that. He was saying like to fix the Z Fold, the original one, just for what I was talking about, would be like 650 bucks. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. I'm like, and it didn't sound like he would take my insurance through Samsung either. So I ended up calling Samsung back, and I spoke to somebody that got me to the right place in terms of like where to do the online claim. I found the Z Fold 2, put in my phone number, all that, blah, 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 blah. At the very end, it gives me a message that my claim cannot be completed, that my coverage has run out. I was like, that's weird. I remember getting an email saying I had coverage. So I ended up calling them back, spoke to another couple people, got to the right person. They were like, yeah, your coverage ran out on like Christmas Day or something like that. I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking to myself, I did get a different credit card. So I'm thinking the credit card expiration date ran out on that other one. I got a new one, and that's why I wasn't being billed anymore, and that's why they canceled service on it. But the light at the end of the tunnel is she's saying that I can get everything reinstated in terms of being able to get coverage again on this phone, but it's gonna take about a week. She's gonna have to open up a service request. I'll get an email back saying that it's been reinstated, but then I need to call Samsung again and give them my credit card number so that they can start billing me under that new coverage, which to me, it's fine. And then at that point, I would need to file a new claim, which I was like, how long does that take? She's like, sometimes it can be as little as 24 hours in terms of getting the phone shipped out to them and then the new one shipped out to me, or the fixed one. But I don't think they can fix this. I think, I mean, I hope it would be great if it was just as easy as in like replacing the screen and fixing it, but I think they're gonna have to do more than that with what's going on here, because the responsiveness is just like gone. So that's where I'm at. So I'm probably gonna do a part 2 to this. This will be the end of this part of the video, and then I'll let you know probably in about another week or so how everything else is going with this phone. Now I can use that. One thing I didn't mention is actually everything works perfectly fine when I use the phone like this on the smaller screen. So it is an option that I can keep the SIM card in this and, you know, just use it like this. But I mean, the screen's so small, so I haven't decided yet. I might use it like this or just switch everything over to the S21 Ultra. But that's where I'm at. I'll let you guys know how this turns out. And as I do these videos, the progress on this, my experience with having to go through Samsung Care and all of that, I will let you know, and I'll put all the videos and the links down below as, you know, time goes on, in case you're watching this video for the first time, you know, a month later or something like that. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I'll see you down the road. Peace.